everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Kandid Kaiya. Today, I am here with teacher and entrepreneur, Tanya. She is going to be talking to us about her experience teaching virtually during a pandemic. Stay tuned. Hello, Tanya.
Hi.
How are you today?
Doing good, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Can you just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Tanya. I live in New York City, Harlem to be exact. I teach first grade. This is my 6th year teaching. This is my first year teaching virtual. And I am also a entrepreneur. I create jewelry in my spare time. And yeah, I'm excited to talk to you all about virtual teaching.
Thank you. Let's just start with, so you've been a teacher for 6 years. How did you get into teaching and when did that passion really start?
Yeah, so that passion started for me in high school as a sophomore. My visual arts teacher kind of recruited me to be her art assistant, and I began working with homeschoolers, teaching them art. And I did this from sophomore year of high school all the way into my senior year of college. At that point, I had moved into an art instructor position, and it was just really awesome to work with kids, and I just preferred them over adults. And it was just nice to work with them and troubleshoot with them and encourage them. It was such an amazing experience at a young age. I knew that teaching was the career for me.
All right. So tell us, since you love teaching and you've known it was a career for you, like you just said, for quite some time, how have you been dealing with these new teaching circumstances?
Yeah, how have I been dealing with them? It has been a uphill battle. I work for a charter school, so as you know, things are a little bit different in charter versus public.
Mhm.
It has been quite the challenge. I am also in a leadership role at my school, so along with being a teacher, I also support all of the teachers on my grade. So I've been working to see how to balance both of those, like teaching with someone's mom in the back, like, can you say the question again? And then also supporting my fellow teammates who are also trying to navigate through this unknown time.
Tanya, can you tell us just a little bit about, in your opinion, how has teaching changed since COVID hit?
Yeah, in my opinion, it has completely changed. We are now teaching um, through a screen. And as a teacher, you know that in person feels totally different from teaching in a screen. At this point, when you get a new bunch of students, the first couple of weeks or month are very important for culture building, for expectation building, and now that is done through the screen. So now I am working on ensuring that you're engaged and, to be honest, that you enjoy my class without a lot of incentives and the fun of being in a classroom. So it's completely different. There are a new challenge every day, and um, I don't see it ever feeling like how it feels in person.
Right. So what would you say is kind of the biggest challenge you're currently having? I mean, I know you're teaching virtually, you're in New York. Just personally, what's the biggest challenge you are having with your work?
Yeah. I think the biggest challenge for me personally is this huge change in dealing with the change. I know that teaching is my passion, I enjoy it. However, when you have a change this enormous, you start to feel uneasy and uncomfortable. And I know that change is inevitable, and I try to tell myself that, but I think this is the first time I've experienced such a dramatic or drastic change in my
Mhm.
career.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of teachers can relate to you everywhere.
Yeah, power to the teachers. We got.
Power to the thank y'all. Thank you to all my teachers, especially the first grade ones. Shout out. What has kind of surprised you the most about this experience? Maybe something that you thought was not going to work out because this was a new environment, but then it worked out even better than you had thought.
Yeah, I think having families and students log into a Zoom link every day. And for some subjects, they have different links. So I am super impressed to say and to see that 100% of my students know how to log into my class.
First grade students?
Yeah. I mean, not 100% on their own. There's family members supporting them heavily, but
Right.
I'm very impressed with that.
Good. So you thought it would be they would struggle more with that, but
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was in kindergarten last year when we first went into virtual, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I requested for first grade this year because I was like, they're older, they can handle technology a little bit better. So go first grade.
so tell us a little bit about how your preparation and planning has changed in order to, of course, be able to teach as effectively virtually.
Yeah, so planning is a little bit more of a challenge as well. Like normally I would plan a math lesson, I would have manipulatives like cubes and whiteboards and markers. Now it's like you don't have any of that. I need to think about how I can make the same math lesson come alive without you being hands on. And we know at this age, we call it the exploratory age and stage, and they like to touch, and that's how they learn. But now it's all just visual and auditory. So the best thing Zoom offers is breakout rooms. So I can still do like small group learning. But it's definitely not as engaging as it is in person. So planning looks like, how can I flip this from kids counting cubes to now kids watching me count or kids counting pins at home? It's
Right.
definitely, yeah, it feels very different. And you don't want to ask the kids to do something because you don't know if all students are able to do that. So I try to stay away from that because you don't know a child's like personal struggles or challenges at home. So I really just make sure all the heavy lifting is at this point falling on me, but that could be detrimental to their learning.
So, in any way, has COVID and everything going on taken away from your passion of teaching?
Yeah, I think that it definitely began to chip at my passion. Let's be transparent. This time was very hard for me mentally. And then as a teacher, it became even more challenging as we ran into our PDs for the years. And there's all of these deliverables, there's all of these new systems. And to see so many schools doing different things and wishing, oh, I wish my school did that, or I wish other schools did this. So it definitely began to chip at my passion heavily. And I had to like recenter and I had to remind myself, like, this is my passion. I love teaching. And to be very transparent, I am a new budding entrepreneur. So it was already kind of being chipped at because I love entrepreneurship. It's so amazing. So yeah, my passion has been decreasing. And it's so hard to say that when there's children involved, but I think it's important for people to understand education is no longer just teaching. There are so many other background steps that a lot of folks don't know of. And that part is also making it hard to stay passionate.
No, I totally get that. How would you say though, like dealing with all of that, how have you kind of kept yourself motivated and ensured that your students still got your best energy?
Yeah, to be honest, when my children are in front of me, I'm not thinking about anything else. I personally don't let my cell phone sit in front of me. It's only me and the kids. And that's like the best part of teaching. And if you ask any educator, they're going to say, like, my favorite part is the kids. Like, the kids really make this job. Um, like, from the silly things they say, like today during math, I was like, what's five and five more? Some kid was like, it's my sister's birthday. And I was like, all right, well, that's not what I asked, but you just made me smile. So the kids definitely play a role in making sure I'm passionate. And when they're in front of me, that energy just comes back.
So just speaking about how excited your students are to, of course, come to Miss Tanya's class, let's just talk about the toll that you think this experience has had on the students. Do you still find the students to be as motivated as they once were or not?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the students are trying their best. I in my classroom, I know that there's this fatigue from staring at the screen.
Hmm.
And I just every day send my families like this message, like, thank you for still giving 100%. A lot of students are tired and they're confused and they want to talk to their friends. They want to hang out with their friends. So I know socially it's taking a toll on them. This is a very important stage in their life socially. And a lot of them, if they don't have siblings, they're probably not engaging with other children as much. So socially, it's taking a very high toll. I think academically, we're figuring it out. Like, I don't worry about them academically. Um, and I think for just the home dynamics, I think it's also a challenge for a child to be with their parents all day, to be with their family all day and not see different faces. I know some of my parents are in the back of the camera, like watching every second, and that's not normally how education is in a charter school. So I know that's also taking a toll. Like, there's this pressure, like, I need to get the answer right. My mom is sitting right here. When that's not true. In the classroom, if you get an answer wrong, you aren't yelled at. That's at that point a learning moment. But it feels very different at home because parents are like, you must get it right. Why are you saying this? So I think it's taking a couple of different tolls on them.
All right, Tanya, now I want to get a little bit of your advice. What advice do you have for other teachers who might be struggling to be as effective, as motivated, and as passionate about teaching right
Yeah, that's a great question because I wish someone can give me some advice.
now?
But just all jokes aside, I think what's been helping me is remembering the biggest why behind this and always thinking kid first. I think at times like leadership and operations will ask things of teachers, and that's really what puts the load on us. But just reminding ourselves and sometimes reminding our leadership and operations, like my first step is my students. And when I start to feel like I can't give my students my best, there's other things that need to stop or there's other things that need to decrease because all of your energy should be going to the kids. But let's be realistic. I know that you have people emailing you, calling you, asking you for all these deliverables. Let people know, like, hey, I'm trying my best. My kids are my first priority, and make that very known within your school. So someone thinks 3 times before asking you to take on another project or to lead something.
All right, that's good advice. What advice do you have for just making the most out of this virtual experience?
Yeah, I think my advice is to have fun. Like, I know every school is saying, we need to teach this. Pause and have a wiggle break. Pause and send kids to breakout rooms and let them talk. I have my sister come in to teach my students dance. They love that. We have show and tell. We play teacher versus scholar. So make sure you're balancing it with fun and learning because let's be honest, if you were in the classroom, we would be having a lot of fun, right? I don't think it should feel like college for our kids. Make it fun.
Right. No, definitely. Let's see. My last piece of advice is what advice do you give or have for teachers to make sure that their students feel like nothing is too different about their experience and to give them hope really that they're going to come out of this experience and soon see each other and everything will be normal again?
Yeah, I think the best thing is to be as transparent as possible. I have students that ask me, Miss Walker, when are we coming back in the building? And I am not for breaking kids' hearts and giving false dreams. So I am very honest with saying I don't know, but I'm hoping soon. So, right. So it's transparency with a positive thought behind it. I don't
Mhm.
know, but I hope soon. And I never tell them it'll be the same or it'll feel the same. I honestly open the floor up to them and say, how can we make this feel good? How can we make virtual learning fun for you? And a lot of them say, can I wear my pajamas? Can I bring toys? But open it up to your kids, right? Sometimes kids teach us. This is a great opportunity to learn from your students. Ask them what they want right now.
Right. No, definitely. All right. Well, that is all of my advice. I do have one more question, and it's finish my sentence.
Yeah.
So, as a teacher, I hope to.
As a teacher, I hope to grow through this challenging time, my students and myself and the families. And at the end of this, this challenge, at the end of the tunnel, I see the light, they see the light, and we all are so proud of how far we came. And as a teacher, I know that, nothing's ever easy. There's always going to be a challenge, but we're going to make it through.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Walker. All right. So, Tanya, tell everyone how they can keep up with you. Tell us about how they can keep up with Faye's collection and everything.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So how to keep up with Tanya. Tanya's keeping up with herself, but if you want to keep up with me too, I have Instagram. You can follow me at gtanya_. That's G. Actually, there's no underscore. Silly me. There's G. It's at GEETANYAA. And then my, handmade earrings that I make on the side. Oh, my sign's right there in the back too. You can follow us at Faye's Clay Collection. And we have a new line coming out. So I hope you all follow and tune in.
Yes, y'all heard it here first. New line launching. Tell your friends. All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Walker, for speaking with us today. We hope that everything works well with the rest of the school year, and we hope that your kids are even more inspired. They are very lucky to have you as a teacher. So thank you for joining us. We hope you all enjoyed today's interview, and stay tuned for the next virtual interview coming soon. See ya.